it's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with day 2 in Carlsbad. And whew, it's been a day already. I've got Kevin up topside working on planting out the bromeliads and some other cool things. We got our rocks staged. We got our soil. It's about 2 yards up there. Not done with the planting yet, but it's really looking beautiful. This is all, remember, on spray. And Greg did change out the existing spray heads with the MP rotator. So it's more efficient and uses way less water than the standard heads. Down here, super challenging, because we talked about this a little yesterday, the thatch from these very, very mature palm trees. It is literally impossible to plant or to dig, or I shouldn't say plant because you're doing it, but to dig in here. This, see all this, I don't know if you can tell, it's sometimes difficult to see elevation in the video, but it's super elevated, and that's not soil, that's roots. That's all roots. So what we're doing is strategically staging small boulders and bringing in soil to raise the soil level so that we can plant. And it's really not hard if you employ that method. We have trenching, the best that we can do here. This right here is going to be a little challenging with top dressing because it is literally a vertical cliff. So we may be able to get a trencher in here and shave this down a little bit just so the rock has somewhere to go. We got a drain here, we got lights here, pop-ups. It's a super highway, but we'll figure it out. There's always a solution, right? So this area, we haven't begun staging our plants yet, but it'll be, obviously succulents. We have a little bed in here to plant out, and this pot I'm going to do Sansevieria, bromeliad, and Tradescantia combo in this shady pot by the front door. That's going to be such a winner of a combination. And see, it was raining actually here yesterday, but today there's not a cloud in the sky, and you can see all of the dappled sunshine. It's so beautiful that, we have the radiant light off of the white walls and the white house behind, all of this green and purple and pink. It's giving La Mesa, isn't it? And it's so funny that these projects are back to back and we're using some of the same plants in each. But I'm absolutely loving the variegated attenuatas up here. They're so elevated, both literally and metaphorically. Here we have Omar and Nate working on sinking the foundation plants in this area. Yesterday, I think we still had the big urns up in that bed. I had the guys take those down, and we decided that was too prime a real estate, so we're doing a tapestry there instead. I'm really thrilled with that. Omar got our first citrus tree planted. This is the lemon here, and you will see a dripper in that pot. You know me, I'm always saying no drippers in pots, no drippers in pots, but our client has actually killed, by her own admission, a couple of citrus trees by trying to manage the water. That apple down here that's thriving is on a drip. So this is a situation where, crazy being defined as doing things the same way and expecting different results. That's working. So we are going to recreate the wheel. I'm going to dripper in this fruit tree, and I'm going to dripper in the fruit tree over there because, hey, if it ain't broke, right? Here, I don't know, did I show you this yesterday? I'm sorry, guys. It's such a blur. This is a very challenging little bed because of the size. It's very small. We have, again, the giant palm tree in here. It's pool adjacent, so I can't build up the soil. So what I decided to do was just stage different types and textures of rock, do a little piece of statuary, And then I planted out one small pot with an Echeveria Blue Atoll. The Blue Atoll is such a tough customer. This one tolerates so much abuse, and it's pretty, it kind of reminds me of an imbricata, but it's much tougher. Over here, we had another challenging situation. This garden, this yard is just challenges, which is awesome. It's so much fun. You get to use all that you've learned, you know, over 2 decades in one yard. So here was a cardboard fern that had been, it was, I don't know, 15 years old, 20 years old. The gardener removed it, but he didn't really get all of the roots. Um, I applied I applied an herbicide after I got out what I could. Yeah, after I got out what I could, and in the hopes of discouraging any regrowth. Then it was still so thatchy. I wanted to put a big Petalanthus bracteatus. This is a 15-gallon. So we distressed the root ball as much as we could, probably by 50%, and then pretty much had to plant it at grade. We weren't really able to do a lot of digging. So Kevin staged a really pretty boulder right here to hold, you know, here we got a drain, so the boulder, you know, kind of holds everything steady. These are speakers, so we can't cover those up. Then I will bring in some more rubble, and then we'll be planting additional things here. But this was another area that just required strategy. Then over here, poolside, the HOA requires that nothing be planted within 12 inches of the fence. So the guys were very mindful of that. And these are the groupings. Now, in between these groupings will be tapestry. So we'll be bringing in rubble, and we will be bringing in color and doing all of our 1 gallon. But this is how I'll do it, depending on the staff that I have and their skill set. I want to keep everybody busy, so sometimes we just blow it out from start to finish. If I have enough designers on hand, if I have more installers than designers, I'll stage and have them install, and then Hannah and I, or you know, another designer will come through and do the tapestry after the fact, and that's what we have going on here. This is going to be another fruit tree. Oh, another fruit tree here. And this is another area where we've got our foundations in the ground and looking good. Over here, we haven't even started yet blowing out this planting bed, but this will also be just blown out with soft tapestry.
And they need access to that?
Yes, and we'll need to keep access to, I'm assuming that this is the
Something electrical?
yeah. Yeah. It just looks official, so we'll allow them to have access to that. This is the apple tree I was talking about that's thriving on a drip.
I don't know if the drip was even really working.
Yeah. Because that was the only source of water that it was getting. She didn't try to hand water it. And then over here, in this little corner, we're gonna, you know, just do soft, colorful succulents. We also added a couple of bromeliads in there for, you know, for color and texture. I cleaned up these pygmy palms a lot yesterday. Then, you know, back here, Greg found a problem, a crack in the irrigation hard line, which took him hours to dig through here and identify it and repair it. So that was kind of a nightmare, but we got it done, and you can see just how unforgiving this ground is and why succulents are such a great choice. So this, we haven't even started yet. Here, this is a bougainvillea that's been cut down many times, but no one's ever really gotten after the root. So I'll have somebody come over here with a trench shovel and really get after that. So this whole bed here still has to be done. I have Gordon coming tomorrow to be our finisher, and he's going to fluff up this vertical. He's going to fluff up the vertical in the front, and he's also going to organize her potting area here and make it all pretty. So We still have loads and loads of work, but I'm really happy to be able to give you this very important update. Bye, guys.